I'm actually a bit disappointed with current release markets because many bands that's been on stage for many years, they say that nobody wants the new albums because the only thing people want to hear are the greatest hits.
That's true.
Like Aerosmith, they released an album 2 years ago and they regret it. So, and there's a Polish band that's been on stage for 40 years and they're pulling the plug this year because they said, you know, nobody wants to buy the stuff and, you know, the internet destroyed them and stuff like that.
It has. I've got my BMI statement recently, you know, for most of it, for the 7 key stuff, some of the Kansas stuff I have participated in, you know, page after page of airplay, of use on this TV show and this, page after page, and a check for $3.47. You know, with this streaming, Pandora, all the Groove Shark, all the other, you know, places where you pay a small fee and stream all you want to. You get paid nothing. The artist makes nothing. So it's you know, unless you sell it yourself, you download it off your website and they pay you directly, and you cut all these other people out. You know,
Really, what new music in a modern time is, it provides interest to a fan. The bread and butter for us is on the road, traveling, performing. And that's really what it's always been with us, because we signed a terrible recording contract in the beginning. And so record sales as a revenue stream, it's not that big a deal, but the interest it keeps up within fans and generating new fans and new interest, you know, it keeps us out here. And so that there's a purpose for new material. That purpose might not necessarily be selling it and making money, but more just what it generates, what it turns into. And so if that's what it is, that's what it is, and so we will do that.
You're always best off doing what you want to do, and don't let anything dictate. Do what you want to do.
Tam jeszcze pan miał pytanie, proszę bardzo.
Why did you came to an idea to change the name of the band from White Clover to Kansas? What was the reason?
In 1969, I was in a version of White Clover with Phil and Dave and some other people in New Orleans. We were living in the French Quarter playing. The summer before, Phil was in there in another version. Local bands mutate, and people come and go. And we were White Clover when, before Kerry was in the band, and we got the recording deal with Don Kirshner. Well, Kerry was in a band called Kansas at the time, but Phil and Dave had also been in that. It all gets very incestuous as it goes. Everybody's playing in different bands at different times together. Well, Kerry's version of that band broke up. Kerry had some great songs. We had a recording contract. So, you know, we thought, do we really want to be White Clover? It was kind of a 60s San Francisco hippie band name in a way. We didn't feel it suited us. And Dave Hope, the bass player, the name Kansas came from, he was in a band called the Kansas Blues Band, where he was a bass player and singer. It was a blues band. And that was a cool name. Well, I would just Kansas. And so that's where the Kansas name came in the beginning. Then it became all these different things. Then White Clover, we consumed all the entities and just became Kansas, really because we didn't like the name White Clover. Kansas works, okay, we'll do that. We thought of a lot of other names that none of them we liked, and so it was like, well, fuck it, let's take that. And it came to be. And
weren't you the Timsman at one point?
it's funny how, the Beatles, what a name, it's a bug. But in time, you know, when you relate it to an organization, a band, etc., it takes on a whole new meaning. And you know, people think Kansas is the state, but when they think of music, they think of us, and it's not really the same word in a way. And we created a different definition of that word by being the band. That was a long-winded answer. Anyway.
Gemma, you said that you spend most of your time on the bus, so while on tour.